Hi guys, welcome to episode 5 of the Call Room, where we'll be joined by Chloe Brew, hopefully very soon. So yeah, we'll just wait for Chloe to join us. Here we go. She's in. Let's get her involved. So hopefully Chloe will join us in at any second now. She'll magically appear and we'll be able to start chatting. Hey!
Hello.
There she is. You alright?
Yeah, good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Not bad. Thanks for joining me.
No worries. Thanks for inviting me.
That's all right. Straight off a training session, I believe.
Yeah, I'm a bit sweaty.
That's all right. We like that here. We're chilled here. We like that. So quickly, just before we get going with questions and stuff, I would just like you to introduce yourself to everyone of who you are and what you're doing and all that sort of stuff. So take it away, Chloe.
I'm Chloe Brew. I'm currently on the women's GB rowing team. And we're currently campaigning for Tokyo 2021.
Nice. Pretty cool to be able to say, eh?
Yeah, definitely. I've worked very hard for a long time, so you had to say that.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to hear you'd be able to say it as well. So the first question that I like to ask every guest that comes on is, what type of call room athlete are you? And before you think about that, I'm not sure what it's like in rowing, but the call room is the room where athletes go to before they compete to get mentally and physically ready to race, you know, in the optimal state of how they race. So I don't know if you have a call room in rowing or you just have an area or what, but if you could explain that as well, that'd be great. And just let me know what kind of athlete you are before you compete.
I wouldn't say we have a call room. We kind of have like 10 minutes before a race where you're in your boat amongst other international competitors, where you just sit and wait to be called to the start line. And then you also have like a 5-minute countdown where you're at the start, and the referee kind of announces the countries, and then he says ready, steady, go, basically.
Right,
And
okay.
they are very, very like mind playing times. Like, you get countries that are like super loud, super aggressive, smashing the boat and stuff. But for me personally, I'll probably crack a joke, keep it
Yeah, I
light,
like that.
and just yeah, keep it light. I'm not like, I think so, sometimes I'm really serious, sometimes I'm jokey, but if I'm with a lot of other athletes in the boat, I'll probably just crack a joke and lighten the mood a bit.
Nice, I like that. I feel like I would do that. That was definitely my role in swimming, just make everyone laugh, just
Yeah,
chill. And then there's people that want to be dead serious and headphones on. So
yeah,
it's quite interesting to hear, actually, because obviously you're not on your own in rowing, not, you know, if you're in
no,
a team environment. So that's pretty interesting.
yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start with some quick fire questions first to
Oh
get you
God.
nice and warmed up, ready for
Okay,
the actual questions. So, morning or afternoon training?
morning training.
Are you a racer or a trainer?
Racer.
Would you prefer to have Olympic bronze or win Olympic bronze or world champs gold?
That's really tough. Oh, Olympic bronze.
Okay. Would you prefer to be forced to sing every time a song comes on or forced to dance?
Forced to dance.
Nice. What sport if not rowing?
Athletics.
Okay. Any in particular event or?
100 meters.
Nice. No, fair enough. I would pick that as well. Aisle seat or window seat?
Window seat.
Sweets or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Yeah. Do you prefer to race in hot temperatures or race in cold temperatures?
Cold.
Okay. Do you prefer to train with music or train in silence?
Music.
Yeah. Any particular artists or just anything?
Maybe a bit of EDM.
Okay, nice. I like it. Would you prefer to be the funniest in the room or the smartest in the room?
Smartest.
And last one, what's your favourite Christmas film?
Probably The Holiday, if that counts.
Okay, yeah, no, I love that film, so that definitely
Yeah.
counts. I make the rules, and that definitely counts. Right, okay, so we're going to answer the questions now, and I've got some really questions that I'm really interested to ask. So the first one is to tell me a bit more about your start in rowing. Why, how, what sort of inspired you to go into rowing?
So I was a netballer. Basically, I grew to 6 foot when I was 11 years old and basically
Nice.
stayed that height. So they just
Yeah.
shoved me into sport, and the like most popular sport was netball.
Mm.
Um, and then this a guy called Kevin Seller, who is the what you're used to be one of the Plymouth coaches, came on the schools and basically was like, "You're really big. Get on the ergo. Let's see how you do." And I did pretty well. And then, of course, my dad hopped on that straight away, trained me up, and then soon became like indoor champion and stuff on the indoor ergo. And then, made a decision to take it onto water.
Hmm. Nice. That's a. I mean, you mentioned your dad there just for a second, and so my next question is, what is it like to have the second name Brew, and the status that comes with that? Because obviously you have a very successful dad, Paul Brew, and Uncle Robin Brew, and when you have obviously successful people in your family, I
Mm.
feel like we probably share similar on that with my auntie and mum who swam as well. Um, it comes with a bit of status and a bit of expectation. So how have you personally found that?
To be honest, I didn't really like notice it at the beginning because it was just a bit of fun. But
Mm.
as soon as I started taking it seriously, I realised the reputation and stuff, and then I also realised it would be very hard to impress them because they've
Yeah,
done it all.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm gonna try and up them and kind of beat them, and then yeah, that'd be cool.
Nice.
But I'd say it has followed me because sometimes we do some swimming as like an extra
Mhm.
session, and I think people expect me to be like this super fast swimmer, like after the family success, and I'm just like
Yeah.
the slowest, honestly, swimmer ever. So
That's funny. I like that though. But yeah, it's good. It's great because obviously it helps you out a lot and they sort of understand sport and stuff like that. But then
yeah,
sometimes I used to think, just be my auntie or just be my mum or, because they love you so much and they're so into it. And you just
yeah,
like, just tell me it was good. But no, it's lovely to have as well that support
yeah,
of
definitely.
uh, yeah, for sure. And obviously your family is just sport mad and amazing at it all. So
Yeah, definitely. Even my cousins, Tom and Jamie, they're just awesome athletes too. So yeah.
yeah, yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah, it runs in the family for sure. Um, do you ever think that you'd get to where you are now?
Not at the beginning, but as soon as I started becoming addicted to like getting better and
Mhm.
performance, I was like, yeah, I'll definitely make it because why not?
Wow, that's awesome. So whenabouts was that? Like, and was that a moment that you can look back on and go, that was the moment, or was it just sort of like a phase?
I think so. I started going to start camps, which probably some of your followers are aware of. Um, and it was then that they said, how unique this opportunity was and how unique it would be to go to the Olympics and how I had basically the physicality for it. And it was probably just my mind or whatever that's stopping me that I was like, wow, well, if they've selected me and found me and said that there's no reason why I can't be in the Olympics, I'm going to go.
Mhm.
I'm going to
Wow,
make sure it happens. Yeah.
that's awesome. Well, and you've potentially been selected for the team, and
Potentially.
now going into well, you mentioned to me earlier about seat racing,
Mm.
and I am not 100% sure on what seat racing is, and I'm sure a lot of people would love to know that are watching. So, could you just explain what seat racing actually is?
Okay, so seat racing is probably the most savage kind of testing that there is out there. It's
Mm,
basically like you have either, for instance, let's say a four-man boat, and
mm,
then you swap or you have like three, four-man boats, and you swap people over, and you basically are compared to that person to see if you made that boat go faster or not
Oh,
directly. Yeah.
ouch. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
right, okay. So that sounds pretty brutal, to be fair.
Yeah, so I guess I don't know if this is right, but in swimming terms, I guess if you're doing a team relay, you'd swap one
Yeah.
person out to see if your time got quicker.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that
Yeah,
makes sense. That is brutal.
yeah,
That is
yeah.
really brutal. I bet it's
No
hard as
hiding.
well if you like, yeah, but if you have like, if you make really good friends, because sport, you do just naturally make such good friends being with those people all the time.
Yeah,
That must be really tough, knowing people so
yeah.
well.
I think my bit of advice is make friends with the people that are not on your side. So
Yeah.
like rowing, you have, stroke side, bow side, and there definitely is tension when stroke sides are racing against each other and bow sides racing against each other. But to be honest, I've not had any issues with that. It's pretty much leave it on the water.
Yeah, and that's a great way to be because a lot of athletes struggle with that. In swimming, I noticed that if someone beat you or if you beat them, the way they reacted it was so different sometimes.
Yeah,
And you just got to be able to do that and leave
yeah.
it in the water or whatever you're doing. So that's great to hear. Were you confident to start with rowing, or were you a bit nervous and anxious about it, or were you just like, yeah, let's just go for it?
I was not confident or unconfident. It was a new territory. I just kind of enjoyed it and made sure that I had fun. I was like 15, so I was making sure that I was hanging out with my friends and yeah, just basically took took each weekend and each day as it came. And then as it got more serious and I started getting a bit more results. I don't have like a lot of results actually to back me up, but
Mhm.
I it's taken me until now to get like concrete results, but
Mhm.
you just keep going, you just keep trusting the process basically.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's the way you have to go with it. I do know that you went to America
Yeah,
to for uni, I think, and you got a
yeah.
scholarship there
Hmm.
to train and to study. What was that like? Was it different to the UK rowing scene, or?
Oh yeah, 100%. American university rowing is so different, especially when it's in LA. It was probably the best worst times of my life in that
Oh
4 years.
gosh, right, okay.
Like only because it's so like I was getting up at 5:15 a.m. I was going to bed at 1 a.m. because like you just have to study and train hard. There's no
Hmm.
hiding there either. Um, and it's 4 years of that, so it's
Wow.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty brutal, but you seem to have done really well off it. So.
I know definitely. If anyone's listening, I definitely look into that for sure.
Hmm. Hmm. So, did you get approached by the uni, or
Yeah.
did you approach them? How did that work?
Yeah, so honestly, it was not on the cards at all. I was actually in the process of applying for British universities, and then I did get someone from UCLA actually message me, and unfortunately that ended up falling through. But I was like, oh, hang on a minute, if they notice me, other people will. So then I just sent an email out to the top 20 schools of rowing, and they all came back and basically made me an offer. But there's only one school that offered me that year, and that was USC.
Right. Okay.
That's why I was like, I'll definitely go to Southern California.
Wow, it's not a bad
Yeah,
place to be.
it is not a bad place to be.
No, I mean I've never been, but it looks great.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, no. And so what did you study alongside rowing? What were you studying out there?
Oh, I must have changed my major, which is another word for degree, about 5 times, I think, when I was there.
Really?
But I ended up graduating in law, history, and culture.
Wow,
Mm.
that's good. Something else to have under your belt as well. That's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah, no, fantastic. So in your obviously your family are massive inspirations. But I was wondering if you had an inspiration, well, your biggest inspiration, who is that, if you have any? Is that family or have you got that elsewhere?
I think my biggest inspiration has actually been family. just because I can relate to them the most, and of course they are sporty. Um, yeah, I just think family and teammates really like daily. I'm inspired by my teammates because I just think, gosh, like, wow, we're really working hard and we're just so awesome that we're doing this. And but definitely inspired by family. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Anyone in particular in the family, or just all of them?
It would definitely have to be my dad, obviously.
Yeah, of course, of course. Yeah, he's a legend. To be fair, we'll leave it
Yeah,
at that. He's a legend.
yeah. He's so
um,
shy, bless
do
him. He's
you
probably like, no.
do you have like who's been your favourite ever teammate? Do you have one, or is that too harsh a
Oh,
question?
that is hard.
I don't want to lose you friends here. I've
Yeah,
done this a few
no.
times.
Uh, yeah, I don't have one, honestly. Because
No?
I've been on so many teams do there, and they just, yeah, it'd be like I'd have a bunch, honestly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I won't let you fall out with anyone. So we're gonna take it down a bit, and I was wondering what the lowest career moment has been so far.
My lowest career moment, that would probably be when the Olympics got postponed.
Okay.
Yeah, I
It's
reckon
been
it was
it's
that.
been difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the whole pandemic thing. I think it's been really hard, yeah.
And how have you, because I don't know what your training setup's like, but I presume you've been able to do a little bit of training here and there. How have you mentally not got over, but how are you dealing with that? Because obviously it's still going on. So,
Fortunately, I come under the umbrella of elite sport, so actually nothing's changed for me this lockdown. So I'm able to train
okay,
on the water and train with the team. Obviously, we have
that's
like
good.
a lot of precautions in place to allow us to do that as well. But in the previous lockdown, it was just indoor rowing and weights and the unknown.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it was difficult, yeah, as I'm sure everyone found it difficult.
hmm No, it was. And obviously, I'm glad to hear that you can still train pretty
Yeah,
much as normal now, because it's a really tough time for athletes, and not just athletes, obviously lots of different people.
yeah,
So coming out of that now, because obviously you're looking forward to next year, and that I'm sure is a massive inspiration for you, and to keep training hard. Your highest career moment so far?
being selected for the spare for the
hmm
Olympics. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you find out? A letter or phone call or?
Well, actually, we were racing, so we were doing the final testing, like the
Yeah.
final Olympic trials. It was a
Mhm.
weekend thing, and we had the first day racing done, turned up for the second day in the morning, and then the head coach was like, "No, no one got on the water. Big meeting now." And then he stood there with a piece of paper in his hand, and he's like, I have to announce the team now because the country's going into lockdown. And just
Oh wow.
read through names, and he was like, and the spare pair, Chloe Brew, and I was just was like, what?
Wow.
Yeah,
So you were all sat in a room together,
it was actually
and people just
outside.
got. Oh, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
you were all sat in a room outside, not in a room outside, and everyone was together, and they just read a list of names.
they
Was
just were
there
like,
people in there that hadn't made the team? I'm guessing.
yeah, yeah, definitely.
Wow, that's
He just read out the crews like men's eight, men's four, women's eight, women's four, pair, spare, and then just read out the names after that. Yeah,
wow. Well, I mean, what a great moment for you, though. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah,
Almost goosebumps, really, listening to that.
yeah. It
Which
was
is
meant
which
to.
is super special, super special. So hopefully the Olympics go on next year.
Mm,
That's the hope, isn't it, for all
yeah.
athletes? Do you think that in a way it's a good thing because you've got another year under your belt for training and stuff like that?
100%. I think the women's team, especially at the moment, have so much momentum. Like, I don't want to give too much away, but we're in really good shape. And,
Mhm.
some of us put in PBs in what we're in November, which is
Wow.
really early to be doing that. So I just, yeah, just really believe that it will be better in the long run. And I
Yes.
do, and an article came out, I think, that said they're hoping to have spectators at the Olympics. I think it'll be different, but it won't be too different. And I do think that the way that we're handling it as the Great Britain team is, I just think we'll come out on top. Hopefully.
Yeah, and well, fingers crossed. When you're talking like that, it's really exciting to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, I hope they're spectators, because obviously the Olympics, you want people to be there cheering and supporting. So fingers crossed for that. So one piece of advice, Chloe, for younger Chloe Brew starting her rowing journey again, what would you say to
her? I'd say that every journey is different, and that not to directly compare yourself to other people's journey, and to shape it yourself, and that it's not going to always look the same. But that saying, A to B is where you want to get to. It doesn't matter, like your path might look like this, someone's path might look a bit more straightforward, but as long as you just keep going and stay consistent and confident and back yourself, you'll get there eventually.
No, that's great. I love that. I'm really interested to hear, Chloe, actually, what you like to do outside of training. What do you like to do just to chill out, Chloe? Like, not let's kill Chloe in the training session. Let's just go and chill out. What do you choose to do?
I'd actually call myself like a bit of a lazy athlete. Like,
okay.
My guilty pleasure is Netflix and just snacks.
Nice, I like it. Anything particular on Netflix? Because I'm looking for new stuff all the time. So
at the moment, I'm catching up on Great British Bake Off, even though it's not Netflix. I'm
amazing,
catching up.
Yeah.
What did I just watch on Netflix? At the moment, actually, I'm getting through Lord of the Rings.
Okay, so am I. I've never watched them, but I watched the first one with my brother and his girlfriend a few days ago.
Yeah.
And we did it sort of like I played it at my house and they played it at theirs. So we just sort of watched it together. But yeah, I'm going through them now. I've never seen them before though. So.
Neither have I. I was like,
oh wow.
Yeah, I just haven't seen them. But I did it backwards. So I watched The Hobbit, and now I'm on Lord of the Rings.
Okay, I didn't do that.
Because technically, even though The Hobbit got released after, The Hobbit came before the Lord of the Rings.
Right.
Yeah.
So maybe I should have started with The Hobbit then. Have I done it the wrong way?
No, I think you've done it the right way. But I just
right, okay. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
I am.
Oh, I love it. Great. We can be great friends. This is gonna work.
I'm saving that for closer to Christmas.
Yeah, I feel like it's a good Christmas thing, isn't it, Harry Potter? I'm dead interested in the hardest session you've ever done, because I know rowers, well, massive respect to rowers, because I did a little bit myself and that wasn't easy. So, what's the hardest session?
I think the hardest session I've ever done is, so we were on altitude training camp, so oxygen is already at a minimum. And we had this row called a 30 at 20, which is basically 30 minutes every stroke, as hard as you can for 30 minutes. And at the end of it, our coach was like, we're going to do something a bit different. We're going to make you go a minute flat out at the end. So you've just done 30 minutes with no oxygen, as hard as you can every stroke. And then then you have to add on a minute straight after, and just absolutely like go mental for a minute on the row.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot of people pass out.
I'm not surprised. I wouldn't have got to that point, but I would have fell off and just been like, I'm done. That is insane. Anyone that's near a rower, try it. Try it, and then you'll understand what's going on.
Yeah. It's not
wow, that's insane. That is insane. My last question for you, Chloe. Look, we've talked a lot about films and stuff like that, but I've got to know, well, first of all, are you a Disney fan?
Yes.
Second of all, what's your favourite Disney film?
Ooh, do you know what? It might have to be Tangled.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's a good one. It's a good one.
I can watch
I love how I'm sat here like, you win.
I can watch that on repeat. I just absolutely love it.
It's a great film.
It is.
Yeah, it's a great film. Disney's just great anyway, though, isn't it? So
is that Disney?
It is. I think Tangled is, yeah.
Okay, good.
Pretty
Hang
sure
on.
it is. We're gonna both leave this conversation, have a look, and it won't be, and we'll be like, oh no. If it isn't Disney, I'm gonna get in so much trouble with all my friends that know that I love Disney.
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
think so. I'm gonna have to go and watch Tangled now. You've said that
Yeah.
anyway. Right, Chloe. Thanks so much for coming on.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. It's been awesome.
No, it's been a real pleasure, and we support you. Good luck for everything that you do. Next year we'll all be watching, and yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep smashing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I
That's all
appreciate
right.
that.
See you soon. Thanks,
All right.
everyone.
See you later. Bye.
Bye.